Next, HR policy framework or list checklist. So this is how you have to prepare a checklist. HR policy framework. First, policy manual and policy manual and implementing. So what are all the policy manual? So if you work in a HR department, especially for policy framework, you will be having some manuals for your organization. So policy manuals for your organization, and you will be having a checklist. What are all the policy you have fully implemented? What are all the policy you are going to implement? What are all the policy is halfway through for implementation? So you will be having some checklist. So policy manual and implementation, fully implemented policy, partially implemented policy, limited implementation policy. Next, open meeting. For meetings also, you will be having some policies. Fully implemented. What are all the policies you have fully implemented? What are all the policies you have partially implemented and limitedly implemented? So if you are working in an HR policy department, it is advisable to have a checklist like this. So what are the policy you have fully implemented? What are all the policy you are partially implemented? So you have to prepare a checklist. So then only it will be easy for you to audit the policy framework or to audit the policy list. So if you have, so you'll be having job description. In recruitment and selection area, you will be having some job description to every designation. So that description for fully implemented policy, partially implemented policy, limited implementation policy. So it is advisable to have this kind of checklist for compensation and benefit, other requirements, employee relations. So the policy checklist should be like this. So if you have a discrimination policy, means what are all the policy that is fully implemented, what are all the policy that is partially implemented and limited implementation. For discrimination, for grievance and harassment, workplace safety, drug-free workplace. So these are all the policies. In that policy, you have to maintain a checklist. What are all the policy you are fully implemented, what are all the policy you are partially implemented, and what are all the policy you are limitedly implemented. So like this, you have to maintain the checklist. See, discipline, termination, reduction in course, exit interview. So for this kind of topics, it is always advisable to have a checklist like this.